like me and already own cameras, I think we're reaching a time where there's little reason to upgrade, and I'll tell you why. Hello, I'm a YouTuber and I've purchased cameras in the past to support my YouTube channel as well as my aspirations for video and photography. Probably like a lot of you, I've been upgrading my cameras along with the amazing innovations that have occurred for the past 10 years. But at least with my current set of cameras, I feel like I've reached a point where there's no reason to upgrade. I'm going to go through my logic to tell you why I'm not upgrading anytime soon, and I hope it helps you and maybe even saves you a little money. Of course, there's a lot of new cameras lately and a lot of accompanying hype. You have your Luna Ultra by Insta360, you have the new X6, you have on the horizon apparently a new 360 camera from DJI, as well as DJI's Pocket 4 and 4P. If my cameras were older, I would probably be considering some upgrades, maybe, but for now, I do believe my cameras are good enough. I'm starting to realize that what I need to do is not chase tech and think that there's a magic camera on the horizon that's going to automatically improve my video and photography. It's really up to me here to try and improve my video making skills and consider lighting, consider color grading, just all those types of things to improve my footage and resulting videos. While this channel you're watching is fairly new, it's actually my second channel. I have a main channel that has had some modest success, and so many of the cameras I did purchase for supporting my main YouTube channel. At some point I wanted to add vlogging. None of that vlogging has ever quite materialized on my other channel, but I do plan to vlog on this channel. One of the reasons why I don't use my phone is that I consider the footage that comes out of my cameras to be higher quality. Second of all, there's so much information on my phone. I have my banking information on here. I have all my email, I have my contacts. I always feel like when I'm filming with the phone, I'm very vulnerable in a busy place where somebody could easily swipe my phone. And because of that, I think that even though I would hate to lose my camera and have it stolen, I'd rather lose my camera than lose my phone. So are you considering upgrading your camera gear with these latest new cameras? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below. So anyway, here's the rundown on my current equipment and why I'm not upgrading. First of all, I do own an Insta360 X6. I love this camera, and if you've worked with 360 cameras, you already know what it can do. There's of course a new X6. I've actually been on board with Insta360 since the original 1X, the first 360 camera that they came out with. It just so happened that I just read about it, and I just had to have this camera because I was going on a trip to Japan. So with 3 days to spare, Insta360 sent me my brand new 1X, and I tested it out on that trip, and I'm really glad I had the camera. Now I also own an X2, and that one I purchased because of the increased size of the display. There was a huge improvement in the display. There were some fun gimmicks in the post-processing, and also it was the fact that it could support an external microphone. And then on the X3, X4, I just waited. I didn't think the improvements were good enough, and then when the X5 came out, I jumped on the chance. And I do have a review video of the X5. I've linked it in the description. So now we have the Insta360 X6, their latest 360 camera. I've been reviewing the footage, comparing this X5 against the X6. From what I can tell, there is, when you zoom in, a little bit of difference in the clarity with daytime shots. And that's to be expected. But of course, a 360 camera, it's always going to have limitations when compared to a dedicated action camera, and certainly against a mirrorless camera. And so I'm willing to live with some of the deficiencies in the image quality in my 360 camera here. Now, obviously, everybody always wants better footage, but in the daylight, I don't see a lot of difference. Now, when I use my 360 camera, it's mostly for those specialty kinds of shots. And so I've used this for time lapses. And what's great about this, you can just set it down, have it time lapse, and then later add the motion to the image. And also I've had some unique, I hope I think creative shots that I've also used the 360. And sometimes it's nice to hold this up and kind of get an overview instead of, obviously, well, I have a drone, but you can get drone-like shots with this, and I have used this with the selfie stick to get a higher perspective. So that's the reason for having the X5, and at this point, I just don't see enough improvements in the X6 to warrant an upgrade, which I think would cost almost $800. Of course, another thing worth mentioning is that the X5 is not as good at low light situations as the X6, but I find that I rarely use the X5 at nighttime. Of course, if I had an X6, maybe I would, but if I'm going to shoot at nighttime in low light, I will just use my Pocket 3 with its 1-inch sensor that does a fantastic job in low light. And I'm sure the new Pockets and Luna Ultra are even better, but it's good enough for what I do. And of course, if I really need low light capability, I'll just take along one of my mirrorless cameras or one of my compact cameras. I happen to own a Sony ZV-1 with its optical zoom. It's debatable whether it would be better than the Pocket 3, but certainly with a mirrorless camera, that's going to be even better with interchangeable lenses. Next up is my Insta360 Go Ultra, and I love this camera. I've owned it, I think, for about six months now, and of course, this is known for having its detachable camera here that you can stick onto poles and such with its magnetic back. Love this camera. I love the size. It's always in my pocket, and the versatility of the screen with the action pod has allowed me to take all kinds of footage. So this is the camera that's always with me, and I actually consider it something of a baseline. It pretty much does everything well. The Pocket 3 footage is going to be better than what I get out of this camera, but what's fantastic about it, it's just so small. It's always in my pocket. I've had some situations, like for example, I was at Disneyland and I just happened to find a strategic spot that gave me a great shot of the Phantasmic night spectacle there. And all I had was this camera. And I took footage of it. I did a 2-time zoom on it, and I thought the footage turned out quite good. There have been other situations where I've been in low light and the footage wasn't as good, but it's something I'm willing to accept. It's always a trade-off. You have your camera. It all depends on what you're willing to carry with you. Of course, in that situation with the boat going by in Phantasmic, if I'd had a Luna or 4P, DJI 4P, and had the zoom capability, that would have been fantastic. But this is all I had, and it was certainly adequate. And for 98% of what I do, I just think this is a fantastic camera. Even though this camera has the ability to remove the main camera from the body, I find that I really haven't used it that much. Oftentimes I'm in crowded areas and I feel a little reluctant to remove this and stick it on a pole and have myself walk by or be at a distance because somebody could take it. Perhaps that's just me, but I think as this camera gets older, I'm more willing to do that. Whereas if I'd just gone out and purchased a brand new, say, Luna Ultra, I definitely, unless I'm in the wilderness somewhere and nobody's around, I would definitely not be removing the controller and trying to use that to control the camera from a distance. It's pretty much the size that sold me and the quality. So for a little package, it's got a lot of capability. I've been watching the videos and reading the reviews, and I'm absolutely blown away with the features and the capabilities in terms of image quality as well as the zooms with the latest Pocket series cameras that include the new Insta360 Luna Ultra, the DJI Pocket 4 and 4P. I happen to own the Pocket 3 still has its 1-inch sensor, does a great job in low light. I'm sure that these other cameras have improvements, but and I would love to have that zoom capability, and of course the low light capabilities apparently been improved as well. So it's a definite upgrade from my Pocket 3. While I love the idea of the Luna Ultra and having that breakaway control panel and screen and built-in mic to be able to remotely control the camera, as I said when I was talking about my Go Ultra here, I rarely use this camera on its own. Maybe I would if I were in more desolate areas, not in crowds, but if I just spent $800 on a brand new Luna Ultra, I don't think I'd be leaving that away from me in a crowded area, which is where I tend to be when I'm trying to film. With this camera, if I had the zoom capabilities of the Pocket 4P or the Insta360 Luna Ultra, it would be a fantastic addition. But I can always carry my my compact cameras. It just so happens I have a Sony ZV-1. This has the 1-inch sensor as well as an optical zoom. And if I had to, I can always lug along a mirrorless camera with an interchangeable lens. It's all in what I'm willing to carry, but at this point, I feel like I'm getting all my cameras and they all offer capabilities that I don't need in a single camera. Overall, I'm impressed with the new cameras. And this also includes the new GoPro Mission, which is apparently supposed to have interchangeable lenses. I now recognize that it's not up to some new magic camera that's going to somehow improve my video footage and improve my creativity. It's really up to me to use lighting better, to write better scripts. All of these things will improve my video footage. So what about you? Are you thinking of upgrading? I'd love to hear what kind of camera gear you have and perhaps why you're considering an upgrade. So please comment below. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.